fellow Nigerians. It's a great privilege for me to speak to all Nigerians through this medium today because we have seen a great development in our nation. It's an history made, which, to all and sundry, we all felt very proud, not minding what affiliation we belong to. We felt proud because for the first time in the history of our nation, we had a civilian transition that was free of any violence. The incidents and the development, I think, required that all the young Nigerians should speak out and say thank you to all those that have been involved in the democratic process. It was heated and hot. There were so many Facebook politicians, and there were so many politicians on the ground. There were so many events that happened leading to this successful transition. And as a Nigerian, we will say we felt very proud that we have proved to the world what we are capable of doing. And as a result of that, I think we all hold a reasonable gratitude to the present President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Goodluck Jonathan, for undertaking this stallion tax. It might not mean anything to some people, but to some of us that were around during the June 12, 1993 experience, we all know how difficult it could have been. For some of us who had watched from the sideline, we all know how tough such decisions could have been. And based on that, I believe that history holds a record of a man in the person of President Goodluck Jonathan. Going on from there, we have seen the success of the People's General, if I'm permitted to use that word. It was a great stride. It was a determination. It was an Abraham Lincoln feat achieved in our nation, Nigeria. And I will say congratulations to the President-elect, General Muhammadu Buhari. I will also want to congratulate the INEC chairman, who did a wonderful job in making sure that we achieve this transition. Going on from there, I want Nigerians to look beyond this electoral victory and then start asking the question, which way Nigeria? Which way Nigeria? In the sense that on the two sides of the pendulum of the two major political parties that contested this election, there's an element of corruption. There's an element of bad governance, and there's an element of people who had perpetrated themselves in fraudulent acts. The question that then comes to mind is, how can the general address this situation? The general will not be ignorant of the fact that people around him, there are people around him who are also corrupt. The general will not deny the fact that he knows or that he's aware that there are some elements in his own party that needs to be asked questions as to how the nation state is. And that's a question I will be putting to the general, and I want all of us to be putting to the general. How do we address this? The nation has gone through a lot. The nation has been through a lot. The nation has survived. But the question on our lips is, which way Nigeria? Which way Nigeria with regards to Boko Haram? Which way Nigeria with regards to corrupt politicians? Which way Nigeria with regards to the nation state of Nigeria? The election has shown us how divided we could be. The election has shown us how difficult it is to rule the nation state called Nigeria. But then, the question on every young man's lips is, now that the general at his old age has come with his pedigree of anti-corruption, with his pedigree of accountability, with his pedigree of achievement, will this be an opportunity for him to open doors for the youths of the nation? Or are we going to continue to run to our old generals to rescue us each time we need a Messiah? The nation state of Nigeria has a lot of young people who will be effective, who will be hands-on, who will also be ready to deliver a good state. But then the question is, the integral part of Nigerian politics that has been hijacked by hoodlums, hijacked by people who does not see political position as service, but as an avenue of enrichment, has made it extremely difficult to have good governance. General, you will know this. You've been around the block for a long time. And our question, and our request, and our prayer to yourself and the professor who is your vice president is, how do we address the imminent problem that is in your house? Because if you have to renew Nigeria, charity has to begin from home. We need a transparent transition from these so-called political jobmen to political servants. Nigeria is looking up to you. The young people of Nigeria is looking up to you. We are waiting to see how you're going to deliver a nation state. Nigeria needs to be big again. We need to rise again. We need to make sure that the dividend of this transition is not wasted in another 4 years of squandering our resources. We have been through a lot as a nation, and the nation state can work if the right ingredients are put within the right frames. Long live the Federal Republic of Nigeria. God bless you, God bless Nigeria, and God bless the General. Thank you very much.